Hey man, how's it going?
I'm well. How are you?
Can't complain.
I like it when it takes a second to think about that, though. It's not an automatic.
Yeah. When complaining comes so easily, one has to take a second to to not take the
Yeah.
easy route.
Well, man,
How's it going?
yeah, I'm well. Congratulations on this record. I tell you, life is better when there's a new BRMC record in the world, and this is as good as anything you guys have ever done. I've loved every second of it.
Well, thank you very much.
I don't know if there's a technical starting point for you all with this record. I know a lot has been talked about in between, and one of those big stories in between is your drummer, Leah Shapiro. I mean, having brain surgery. How big of effect did that have on this record?
Well, it kind of forced us we were pretty steady with like kind of write, record, release, blues tour, and then we had to like just stop the train for once, and that it feels different, like we didn't really know what to do with ourselves sitting still for so long, and it's kind of not until you actually stop moving and stop kind of doing those things that kind of help get the demons out, that the voices in the head, start getting a little bit more in control than the other ones. So it went a little nutty, but there's a lot of of course a scary thing too to have to go through. So some of it was understandable, but yeah, just not being able to have that kind of I don't know, tool or filter to kind of put everything through affected the album in that way. We kind of learned like, oh yeah, we're a little crazier. I'm a little crazier than I thought I was, and I know, I know Pete's crazy, but I had to learn that like, oh yeah, I'm kind of the same. If I don't have, idle hands or devil's playground, so you kind of, I don't know, come into, once like we were back on form writing the record, it's kind of, you kind of look at it a little differently. But as far, I think the only thing I really remember like consciously was the last album, Spectre at the Feast, was such a like heavy, emotional album dealing with kind of like loss, and we kind of wanted to kind of be a rock band again, and I don't know, not kind of lighten the load, and the record goes into kind of a lot of dark places, but they're kind of like different worlds and different dreamscapes and things like that aren't they aren't reality.
Yeah.
So as soon as you paint a dark enough, pretty picture, you don't have to hang out in the real world quite as much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this record feels like. It's like it was a needed world to escape to.
That is interesting because without knowing that and the way I kind of perceived it and heard it, like I could hear moments of isolation within the songs and possibly of death without trying to put and to me, like, there is a lot happening in the world these days that's sort of impossible to not get in your songwriting, but it almost seems like you're saying like that stuff was almost in spite of all of that.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, especially the last album was we're trying to make something out of that, we're trying to make something good out of it. I think anytime you try and like create something artistically or just anything, build a birdhouse, like you want to do something with your time to create something good that's of use. And so, the last album was that way too. It just, I felt like I had to write more personally in the last album. This I just got to kind of paint pictures in the mind of just more abstract, trying to kind of dream a little, not be afraid to dream a little bigger, and then it's hard to explain, but it was. I know our music sounds dark and heavy, but it's a beautiful thing to get to create. When it all comes together, it kind of lifts you up. There's something to it.
I mean, that's what we do. A lot of times, what we're feeling, that's sort of, is music fans, that's what we seek solace in, is kind of the mirror of that. And somehow that works. If you're sad, you listen to sad songs a lot of the time. You know, if you're feeling dark, you listen to dark songs. And
music can, it's a very malleable element. So it's clay, and it can be molded to whatever people want it to be. It can be escape. It can be surface. It can be just for the purpose of dancing, for the purpose of socializing with friends, for the purpose of drowning out, whatever other noise. It can serve so many things. It can start a revolution, or it can be elevator jingles. It can do whatever you. I don't know of anything that's so in service to what you make of it. So
I know you guys have. I mean, you've written some of those revolutionary type songs. I mean, you've had straightforward political songs in your past, especially during the Bush era, and I know a lot of artists are dealing with these days. And again, I don't find it so overtly or obvious on these songs, but was it difficult writing with any of the current situations that were happening now that made you want to try that at all?
When we start thinking about it, we definitely don't want to kind of let politics get in the way of music. So we never set out thinking to write something like that. There seems to be enough of that, and music, it can be free of all those things, and it's nice to let it, when you can. But we've had our fair share of songs, political songs that you kind of can't avoid writing, but never intentionally. Most songs they come, like the current. There's something actually about I did because this state of the country is so, it's being so presented as this extreme polarizing state, and I usually don't trust. I feel like people are trying to just constantly make people feel like we're all different. You're different from them. So this other culture, this other race, your next door neighbor, and we've got to tour all over the world, and as soon as you get out of your bedroom and your TV, people same everywhere you go. They just want to take care of their family and have a little bit of safety and find a little bit of hope and a little bit of love somewhere, and that's about it. So I don't want to play. I didn't really want to play into more of the polarizing. I'm not like that hippie kind of peace of love and passive, but I just don't want to feed that beast anymore. So in the past, I guess, we've been more antagonistic, but it just seems like low hung fruit. It's like a little too easy, and I don't trust things that are that. It's too easy to write a song like that. It's harder to look for, wherever the challenge is usually where the song is. So that's probably seeing if you can find the thing that makes folks come together would be probably the better medicine right now. And a hard song to write, which I am not good enough to write yet. I'm not there. I'm still too pissed. I drank the Kool-Aid, so I gotta calm down too.
I mean, I like how it is filtered through this record, as I've been saying. Enough compliments here, but the fact that, I mean, Little Thing Gone Wild, just one of, I think, your best singles, and I look through that and think of what a great rock song. And I know there's that question that's even probably haunted you guys, followed you around your entire career, about what happened to my rock and roll. And it is a question I find myself asking more and more these days. And you get a record like this, and a band like you guys that still sort of believe in it and wave the flag, and I totally appreciate that.
Yeah. So, it's unfortunate that it's still a good question to ask. But it's strange, having played the song for so many years and it actually still having that much feeling, left in it. Yeah. So I'm not sure why. I guess sometimes the questions more important than the answer, though. So that one was always the kind of tip of the spear in some feeling as far as a, pretty bold statement, and it comes, there's certain, that one, I don't know, it's one of the reasons I think, we have a rule about like never licensing it to anything, just because the spirit of it feels a little like different than other songs, because it's without that sort of kind of antagonistic like heart to it. The song just dissolves. It just becomes another sales pitch for something, and that was the hope of it. It didn't come from that place, so we didn't try and keep it away from that.
I heard that there was a much longer version of DFF. You think that'll ever see the light of day, just for the fun of it?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do. There's a couple. We did these 3 like really DFF, but there's also 3 really high up octane speedball rock songs that were some of the best songs on the album. And I think the last like day we took them all off the album, and still trying to figure out if that was a huge mistake or not. But we play one of the songs, Dan Dung Hum, live, but there's a couple others that weren't meant to be B-sides, because we put everything into it. So we're just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Like we might put out an EP or something strange, and kind of get songs, like get the 8-minute version of DFS out there for people that or maybe it's like 11 minutes, I don't know, but it's like it's probably as long as the high is going to last that you'll need to be in the state of to listen to. That song's meant to be a genuine meditation, but one of the best songs to take drugs to, healthy drugs, but the good stuff. Yeah, it takes you somewhere else. And then these other tunes, we're just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. It's kind of a nice feeling though to have like a couple bullets left in the gun that people don't know you're walking around with.
Well, thanks so much, man. It was great talking to you, and I really appreciate this record. I still love what you guys are doing, so thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, man. Very cool. Thanks for helping me get the music out there.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime, every time. We'll see you around.
All right, man. Have a good.
You too. Bye.